No.
I'm so confused by this choice.
Let's get Tatyana back into this. Wave your hands up in the air.
What? Am I pausing?
No,
Yes.
I'm so fucking pissed that you made such a good point that they cut out all the parts that make him a fucking dick, like the cheating and all that type of stuff. And this is the end of the film. There's 8 minutes of credits, and they don't touch on him having his affair with Sue Lin.
Well, here's the thing. They completely ignored the fact that it happens in a book. So
Right.
in this version, he does not have it. So he becomes a likable character because, okay, yes, he tried to do the intervention and all that, but if you think about it, okay, could he kind of asked her and could he have gone a different route? Sure. But honestly, as a spouse of someone who is neurotic, who is like, a little bit different, I could see where he could have had concerns. So you could write it off and say, well, he was worried because he loves her and he didn't know what to do. But the part that made him not likable in the book is that whole period where she was missing for a long time. He was having an affair. He wasn't really looking for her. He sent his child off to school, barely ever checked in.
100%.
Got someone knocked up. And in the end of the book, they didn't reconcile. They were discussing it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
here they wanted a happy ever ending for everybody involved. So they didn't show the heart, like that time frame that really made a big difference to this family, which is unfortunate. However, I can see where they would skip over it to make this a little bit more like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, but
I
that
don't
really.
like him because I started watching the movie. I already knew what he was going to do, so I already had my
Your preconceptions of him.
yeah, because I know what he's gonna do in the book. I
Yeah.
know the kind of person he is. He basically just checked out of that relationship.
Now, do you guys feel that Sue Lynn's character, how she has that affair with Elgin, was conveyed in any point? Because I
No,
don't, I
they
don't
didn't
feel
get
it.
there yet. They didn't get there yet.
Which is disappointing because at the final scene, he has already had that affair, has already realized that Sue Lynn was pregnant. So there was no. You
No,
said that
it
they
never
didn't get there yet.
happens.
Never happens. They
Never.
don't.
They didn't. They basically took what happened and they cut it out completely. So he never had the affair.
And I
He
think that's incredibly
there was
disappointing.
there was that possibility, like when she made the reference about his soon to be mistress. So there was that in I guess indication that maybe it was headed that direction, but the way that they made the movie, it never actually happened because she disappeared. And then randomly, the neighbor was like, "Oh, I dropped your mom off at the airport." So they cut out a long period of time because
Yeah.
she was at that academy, the prep school, for what, like one semester?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, almost a
It,
full year at that point.
she was in there for quite some time. So Bernadette was missing for a while. Although now that I'm thinking about it, well, right, because school ends, then there's the summer, and then she would have gone to Croatia. So it would have been not a semester, but it would have been up until winter break.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's when she went. So I don't know how they managed it, but they cut out a whole bunch of time.
They really did. And as I was telling not Bernadette,
Bernadette.
as I was telling Danielle, um, there was no differentiation of the timelines because there was no color story to the film as to when things were taking place. And
Yeah.
to me, being drunk as I am, it was confusing. And I don't know what was in present, what was in future, what was in past. So when you compile the timelines in the book and in the film, how everything's disjointed, you really have to have a color story for each individual part, whether it be the past be blue, the present be tan, and the future or the current be like red. Like the past be blue, the recent past be yellow, and the current be red. That's the only way you could really differentiate the timelines. I did not get that from this film. So when I'm watching it and looking, everything seems to be in the same timeline, but the interview with her what's his name? The only black guy in the entire film.
Yeah, I don't know who he was. Lawrence Fishburne.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Her
I think
interview with him.
he was her like mentor in the
Was
book.
he?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So the mentor, when she's speaking to him, we know as reading the book that was in the far past. But while watching it, it seems current. And it's very confusing as the timeline.
Well,
And that was very disappointing to me as a film aspect of it.
yeah, and we were saying during the movie Tatyana that if they like I noticed this a lot in movies that they're afraid to take these big risks with adaptation because they're afraid of what book readers will say, like if they change anything. But really, and I think I will say book readers get a bad rap because nobody's just, maybe some people are saying it just for the heck of it, but I don't say a movie isn't like the book and that means it's bad. If it's not like the book, what I'm saying is that the book, the movie recontextualized these scenes and made it less interesting and made the story not as good. Had this movie maybe reframed it, Brittany had suggested this, and I agree 100%. If it had started maybe at a different point in the story, maybe starting when Bernadette disappeared, like at that confrontation scene, for example,
Mhm.
that would have been a much better movie in my opinion. And if they had just not like jumped like genres, because I know they had those scenes with like the newspapers and stuff, and I really liked that form of storytelling, that documentary style. Maybe if they had done something like that throughout the whole movie, maybe that's a little drastic, but just something more interesting than what they did with the final product. I don't
Mhm.
know. Um,
So
yeah.
I feel, just out of watching the film and knowing the book, there was no indication that B was compiling all of this evidence,
Right.
because the documentary style of the film was past, very, very far past, because you see Bernadette watching it and you see B watching it. There was no indication that B herself had made the what's that word? When you compile a
Compilation.
compilation of all of the information, which is a extreme discredit to the character, to be perfectly honest, because she was smart enough to document how things progress throughout the book. And I understand that you cannot compare the book to the movie. However, when you have a book that is non chronological and you're following things throughout a huge span of time, and it's focused in on Bernadette writing this autobiography about her mother and her relationship with her mother and her father and herself, you really have to take that same viewpoint so you have a understanding of the characters. And when you have a film that doesn't follow the same um I'm trying to think of like the same block of how B sees things, you really lose the character. Because when you look at the book and how B's narration comes in through italicized text and how she sees the Rockettes,
Mm.
I g- B's development in the book is so external. and the film is kind of internal, that you don't see the development of the character, it loses a lot of the character development between B and Bernadette and Elgin and Sue Lynn and Aubrey. Because in the book you have Aubrey following her son, who is just a rebel. Honestly, he's a teenager. He's gonna do drugs. He's gonna experiment with other things. And you don't have Sue Lynn coming to that character, or not Sue Lynn, excuse me, Aubrey coming to that character realization that her husband, who was never introduced in this film, is a shithole, and her son is also a bastard. He's a shithead.
Yeah.
You know, like, you have no character development for Aubrey, no character for okay, sorry, I'm so drunk. Character development for Aubrey becoming a genuine individual. You have no character development for Sue Lynn, who becomes obsessed with Elgin, becoming pregnant with a bastard son or daughter, I don't remember.
Didn't he buy a fucking house, or did he move in with them?
Exactly.
He bought a house, I think.
Exactly. And he asked Bree to be part of their family, and she didn't want to be. And there's just so much lost. And I don't think that's very fair to the author of the book, because she has a satire of how we develop as a community to these advanced technologies, and that is completely lost. And it's not fair to the author, and it's not fair to the characters as individuals. And I don't feel that this film, though it may be good as a standalone, it's not a great portrayal of the actual story that is told.
It's missing a lot of important parts that are like about character development. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if I had seen... What's that?
It's like a fluffy version.
Right.
A fluffy version.
And to be honest with you, I'm trying to think, I mean, obviously it's hard because we have read the book, but I'm trying to think if I had seen this movie without reading the book, I could see myself being like, I mean, yeah, it was fine. I wouldn't call it exceptional.
100%, it's fine. I am drunk off my ass right now. And honestly, I was talking to Danielle through half of it. But it was a fine film.
I couldn't hear you, but I could see your mouth moving.
It was a fine film. It wasn't a great one.
It wasn't a great film. It was just like one of those, like, hey, I have nothing better to watch. Let me watch this now.
Which I feel like is so sad, because I really thought when I saw the casting, like Cate Blanchett, I was so excited. I was like, oh man,
she did a great job.
She did do a great job, which is why it's a shame that the movie isn't as good as it could have been, because she was excellent.
Am I the only one, by the way, who imagined Bee with crazy, wild, curly hair?
I didn't really imagine. I don't know why.
Imagined,
but
I imagined Aubrey completely different. 100% different.
I don't even know what to say about her, because I know why
Do you mind if I pause this? I'm so sorry, Danielle. I have to pee so bad.
Oh, you pee. Don't apologize to me.
You guys can talk among yourselves. I have to pee.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Basically everything you guys said I agree with, so I don't know.
They could have made it a little, but I understand, like, they cut off those pieces to make it a little bit more like, hey, we're not too deep, we're not too heavy. This isn't a heavy film. It's for everybody. Only lovable characters here, and they're still at what, like 130 or 140 in terms of time for the movie.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder how long it would have been if they actually did put in the other parts.
I honestly feel like, and I don't know what it could look like, but you've seen adaptations and movies in general do a lot in a short amount of time. I think it's just the process, you know, the process of a movie is so different from writing a book. Because with a book, I mean, depending on what place you're at writing it, if you haven't ever written something before, you have a bunch of time to write this book, to think about your characters, to let them develop. Nobody's giving you a time crunch at that moment. I mean, like, to get this out, you have infinite amount of resources. You just have your imagination and a pencil, you know, where like with a movie, you have these time crunches. You have more than one writer most of the time. You have people editing, you have the actors, you have the sets. You're limited by what you can do with budget and stuff. So it's just, it's hard, obviously, and you know, we have the benefit of watching it after it's finished, but I don't know, it's just, I guess my point is the book's still always better. Oh, Brittany's back.
Sorry.
But you're good.
I'm super drunk, and it's not even 5:00.
It's almost 5.
Almost. It's 2 minutes to 5.
Well, there you
Almost.
go. In 2 minutes, we'll be A-okay.
Fuck
In 2
off.
minutes.
My parents are dropping Eva off in a couple of minutes, too, though.
Oh, okay.
Because they have a Skype date with their
Oh.
friends. They're going to be drinking and eating.
You know what? I'm proud of your parents, because my parents wouldn't have that.
I love your parents.
Mhm.
I haven't even really like formally met them. I met your mom like
Oh.
formally at your wedding.
At the wedding?
Yes, speaking
Yeah.
of weddings, real quick, Tanya, did you get my text about the song? I asked you if you liked the song.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was, but you didn't answer.
Oh, hang on a second.
You don't have to do it right now.
Off
But
topic. Danielle, you could totally cut this if it hasn't happened yet. Has your
What?
brother proposed?
he has, yes. He proposed
Oh,
On-
wait. I
Did I
didn't know
not tell you
that.
guys this? Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Oh my god! Did she accept?
No. I'm just kidding, she did.
Oh my god.
Shit, you never know these days.
Holy shit. Are they having a wedding? Like, when's the wedding? Is Tatyana invited?
Yeah, that's a hard no. I don't get to bring friends to the wedding.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, wait, we had a conversation about that. That was insane.
We
Yeah,
did
I
have a
know.
conversation, yeah.
Not good.
But
So
what's
I
wrong?
like this
I'm
song.
so drunk.
Oh.
I honest to God have not been this drunk in a long, long time. Cindy, if you're still watching.
We're not live streaming, you goof.
It's just Danielle's recording.
Hang on, you guys. Hang on.
What are you hanging on for? Where are you going?
I love just the thing of Tatyana running back and forth through the frame. Like,
Tatyana, I love your new house, by the way. It's
It's
so cute.
it
I
is.
love the full-length mirror in her living room / dining room. I
That is
don't
her
know.
entryway.
Oh, it's the entryway?
Well, it's so.
What? Danielle, tell me what we're looking at right now.
So, hang on. I can't really see it because it's making me. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, never mind. So basically, what we're looking at is she
Okay.
is sitting in her living room, but behind her, if you walk to the left, is her entryway.
Oh, so this is the living room.
I broke my nail.
Oh!
We all groan because we know how painful that is.
That is
Oh.
so painful.
Fuck.
Fuck.
And now you can't go to the nail salon to get your nails done.
I'm aware.
I like want to like
Was
have a lollipop right now.
I'm
It is so
definitely
good.
going to have to super glue the shit back on.
Mm.
You're so disappointed.
She only barks at the foxes.
Oh, there
Oh,
are more
yeah,
boxes. Hmm.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that she barks at foxes. So I just went over there to make sure she's okay. Because foxes are not afraid of dogs and they can get into a fight with them.
I'm gonna excuse me for a moment.
Huh?
Oh, she's stepping away for a moment, but you can keep talking.
She okay?
I hope so. What was she drinking again? Do you remember?
Vodka soda.
Ah, well, there you go.
I mean, that's pretty much like vodka.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, that's why I didn't drink anything. But then again, I've never been drunk, so. Poor Brittany. Okay.
Well, I mean, she's probably feeling good.
I mean, yeah, probably. It's a good day for Brittany.
God, I can't believe I broke a nail. Shit.
How did you break it?
I was trying to grab a hold of her collar because so she barked. So I went to take a look to see if she was barking at the fox and make sure that she wasn't getting into a confrontation with the fox. But she was standing at the door. So I'm like, all right, and like looking at me. And I'm like, all right, you want to come back in? That's fine. But the second that I let her in and off the leash, she like flew through the house to the front door and got like up on the door trying to see through the window. So I thought, okay, that's really weird. Maybe like my parents are here or something, or it's very rare for her to become aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I flew past the computer for her, and I went to open the door to see if maybe there was my dad's car pulled up or something, and I grabbed a hold of her leash not a leash, her collar. But the second I opened the door, she like surged forward, and I didn't have a good handle on the thing, so my finger slipped out of it, but not before.
Mm. Oh.
I know.
That,
I'm really
yeah.
upset now. Because it's a bad break, as in like, I can't cut this off.
Oh. Yeah, that's not good. Well, it's painful, too.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt if I don't touch it.
Well, that's
Leave it
good.
alone. Leave it.
What's she doing?
She's
Where's the
just
boy?
sitting by the front door staring at the windows.
Mm.
I want to finish watching the credits.
Do it. Yeah.
It's funny because in the book, they don't actually show you what the new thing looks like. So this is kind of cool. It's like a little extra new thing.
Right?
Kristen Wiig. That's
Yeah.
Audrey. Aubrey,
Yes.
whatever.
It's Audrey. No, she was looking up the other girl, the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Oh, Brittany's back.
Sorry about that. I had to go throw up.
Girl!
Handle your vodka?
I am drunk out of my mind right now.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is the vodka bottle. I had it from here.
God. Are you okay?
I'm a little drunk, but that's fine.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just sleep it off. It's not a problem.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you're not going to sleep for a while, right?
Oh, it's 5 o'clock. I'll go to sleep for about 4 hours, so 9.
What will you do after that?
What? I'm sorry?
What will you do after that?
I don't know. Depends on what Kevin's doing. So overall, what are we feeling about the film to the book adaptation?
Wait, so like how close it is to the book?
Well, just your feelings in general. Was the book better or the movie?
Book.
Yeah, the book 100%.
I agree. I'm sorry, I'm super drunk.
You don't have to apologize. I can hear myself laugh.
We don't mind.
What?
Listen, I said we don't mind. The important thing here is we managed through a whole movie that we've been trying to watch for like what, a year?
It's been a while. It's been a while. So
you're not gonna throw up again, are you?
I might.
You want to?
Okay, so I like the book a lot more than the movie. And the movie was very disappointing when it comes to character development and how the timelines were portrayed. Okay, goodbye. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get sick. Okay, goodbye.
Okay.
Bye. Feel
Bye.
better.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Holy shit.
Sorry.